Speaking of
Trey
cases, y'all, we tell y'all all the time about Trey Songz. And somebody said, why y'all don't drag him the way y'all drag Chris Brown? He's not as successful as Chris Brown, but we drag him plenty. I don't know where the fuck you've been, but every time I hear about Trey Songz, it's two things going on. Some type of assault case and some type of chicken circuit performance with other R&B stars. And I'm always amazed that people are still paying to go see him and people are still putting him on shows always. Like Tremaine is able to travel all over the states singing to this day, which is why he ends up getting in these situations. It seems like every time he's on the road, he ends up getting an assault case. So let's hear what the news people said.
Songz now facing a lawsuit for an incident at the Cosmopolitan nearly 2 years ago. 911 calls we obtained reveal a chaotic scene. A worker expressing security too fearful to enter a room where the singer was believed to be.
It was better in the room, and we can't go up there because we're not sure if the people are armed.
This is the morning of November 28th, 2021. A worker at the Cosmopolitan says he's security dispatch and needs police.
They battered him and they stole his money and his chain.
That man, identified as Tyrell Dunn, is now suing Tremaine Neverson, also known as Trey Songz. Also being sued, the Cosmopolitan and a private security company.
He's currently on the floor.
The Maryland resident claims his wife was escorted by security to a hotel room to meet the singer. Dunn began searching for his wife and was told she was in the room, heard her screaming for help and reporting she was being held against her will. When Dunn tried to help her, he says he was beaten up by Trey Songz and his security.
He's just really big.
In a second call,
We're standing by the room. It sounds like there's a lot of people in the room.
about 10 minutes after the first one,
To contact EMS for them now.
he describes the situation escalating.
What are they yelling about? So now we might have more issues
In a third call, he refers to yelling and a possible fight.
because we're not going in the room until Metro shows up.
He says the victim was taken to UMC trauma.
He got cut on his back of his head. He got cut behind his ear. He has a black eye. His lip is broken.
And in a fourth call, nearly 45 minutes after the first,
Another fight between females now.
It's currently happening, or did you guys break it up?
We didn't break it up.
Yeah,
They
we ain't breaking
finished and
up
kicked
shit.
her out.
Okay, so it was a result of the robbery?
Yes.
he also says there is a report of a sexual assault.
Did she say what happened when she was sexually assaulted?
No, so she spoke to the Metro officer that's here, but now she's asking for EMS.
He says the officer is waiting for backup to go to the room.
Do we think the suspect is still in the room?
Yeah, they said they're still all up in there.
5 months later, Las Vegas Metro Police announced no criminal charges would be filed against Trey Songz and stated if any new evidence comes to light, the case will be reopened for further investigation. The singer is currently facing multiple lawsuits from women who say he sexually assaulted them, another from 2 men who say he physically assaulted them. And in both New York and Michigan, he agreed to plea deals after he was accused of violent acts. In Dunn's case, he's suing for medical expenses and the pain he says he suffered.
We already had 2 fights, well, now 3 fights, and now this alleged rape happened while we're waiting for you guys.
I asked the attorney for plaintiff Tyrell Dunn why the lawsuit was filed so far after the incident. He says they were waiting to see if the singer would be charged. Reporting in Las Vegas, Vanessa Murphy, 8 News Now.
I mean, it sounded like they waited until they found out that he wasn't being charged and then they filed charges themselves. That's usually how that happens. They keep letting Trey Songz get off. I heard a lot of people saying shit like, well, what was your wife doing in there? And it's like, well, he's Trey Songz, and a lot of y'all are stupid. A lot of y'all are stupid. Like, I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. Y'all hear stories about these men and tell yourself that it's not true. So you go to a Trey Songz show and then he's having an after party at his hotel room. You and your husband apparently must have got invited, or y'all were in the, like, I don't know where they were, where it sounds as if the wife was invited up to where the party was, and then the man comes upon his wife and hears her screaming somewhere and tries to fight to get to her. To me, it sounds like the lady probably was going in there to get a picture or something. Like if they were having a hotel party and the show wasn't that far away from the hotel, so everybody knows to come to the hotel after the show, Like, cause the man on the call sounds like there were several calls. So there were like several other people that were there. It wasn't like she went to Trey Songz room by herself. Like, it sounds like they were having an after party. Yeah. And the husband probably was somewhere in the hotel, goes to find her, and she's screaming and hollering. Like, it is given. Yeah, it is not even given that it might. I don't even think it was no freak off. Y'all know how they pull people into rooms when they having parties like that. I'm not sure. And even if the lady was trying to fuck Trey Songz, even if the lady was cheating on her, like at a hotel with her husband, because it sounds like he was there with her. Like, if you think that, okay, that lady went up there and fucked him or was trying to fuck him, when it was time for her to leave, she should have been able to leave, and she wasn't able to leave, and so she was screaming. So her husband came to get her, to save her, as he should have. And I just think it's weird the way y'all are always trying to question and make somebody at fault for why they were kidnapped low key. Because stopping somebody from leaving is technically kidnapping. But he's done this repeatedly, y'all. Like, this has consistently been happening. And we'll take it back to Diddy's house, because that was when I believe one of the biggest cases that he had against him happened at a Diddy party. And everybody wants to talk about, oh, why y'all don't talk about him when we talk about Chris Brown? Both of them niggas had cases linked to a Diddy party, either a yacht or Diddy's mansion. But either way, they both have been accused of assaulting women at Diddy parties. Trey and Chris. And let's not forget, I feel like Trey be getting off because Trey got dirt on people too. Because y'all remember that video of Justin Bieber and Odell Beckham? And it looked like some suspect shit was going on, like son was picking his head up from sucking somebody's dick. And everybody felt like, who was recording the video? I was like, Trey Songz was actually the one recording that video. Trey Songz was actually the one that recorded the video, and he put himself in a video as if it was like a selfie or something like that. But the way Justin Bieber put his head up and kind of like wiped his mouth, it just was like, nigga, what the fuck are you doing? Like, we over here doing some sneaky shit. What are you doing? So yeah, that was Trey Songz that recorded that. So I wonder, if the trick is to get dirt on the right people, is if you get dirt on the right people, people that have money invested in them will pay to silence other people. You know what I'm saying? Or help. So like if Trey Songz got dirt on somebody, and I'm just using this as conjecture, somebody like Odell Beckham, that's like a famous football player that has a whole bunch of money behind him as far as being a football player and on a team, and people want him to continue to play without any issues or any stories like that coming out with real validity. They will pay, or they will get the right lawyers to go and help Trey Songz. They'll call the right judge to shut some shit down because Trey Songz has something on Odell Beckham. You see what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that's kind of how those things work, which is why you'll see people like him who really, why the fuck is Trey Songz somebody that y'all care about enough for him to keep getting off? He's not Chris Brown status. He's not. So it doesn't make sense why he keep getting off the way he do.